I was a bike rider 30 years ago, and the One Less Car group and the group that's working with the city really motivated me to get back into bike riding, and it's one of the best things that could have happened. But I want to acknowledge Nate for his really great creativity working with so many organizations. He's the bike coordinator. He's done a great job in promoting biking for the residents and city employees. Nate, where's your son? He's not here today, but you got to see this guy. He's this high, and he gets on that bike, and he keeps up with the best of us. And it's just phenomenal. But you know, back in 2007, I joined the people from One Less Car for an early morning bike ride. And from that moment, again, whoever wrote my notes, they said I became a biking mad, but you know, I've always been a biking person. I just kind of rebirthed and came back to it. So since then, we started riding every Friday morning with a dedicated group of residents and city employees, and we still do it. Yesterday we did Friday evening, but we generally do Friday morning at 6:30. And recently we started adding on other days of the week that people can join us. And hopefully, not hopefully, I'm going to do this one. Later this year, I'm going to join a group of folks, and I'm going to do the first 100 miles of the Seagull Century. Looking forward to that.
Yay! All right.
But most importantly, I really want to begin to encourage people. You know, biking is not just for exercising. It's really a way for us to reduce traffic in the city, to save on the cost of energy during these current economic times, and really get a different perspective of the city when you move around on a bike. You know, we want to create, we've created in the last 2 years 42 miles of bike lanes and routes in city streets, and we want to do more. I was in D.C. On Thursday or Wednesday, and I noticed all of the bike trails that were available on the street, and we want to do that in Baltimore. Last month, we opened our first on-street parking facility in Charles Village that allow people to come and bring their bikes. We have more and more bike racks in downtown Baltimore and throughout the city. Today, we're out here all day where people can learn about how to maintain their bikes, taking advantage of the great park that we have here, which is a jewel, along with learning about many other efforts. You know, our effort called Be Fit Baltimore, and I don't have on my Be Fit shirt this morning, but this is an initiative to really get people to get out and exercise. Tomorrow we'll be out here for cardio tennis at 12:30, so please come and join us. And next week, Baltimore will be holding a bike summit. And the summit will bring together city agencies, local bike advocates, and state officials to strategize improving cycling conditions in and around Baltimore. And I want to combine these resources to help improve cycling conditions and better promote bike culture in Baltimore. To learn more about biking in Baltimore, you can visit the Department of Transportation's bike site. New bike website, which is www.baltimorecity.gov/bike, and you can find information on how to travel throughout the city if you want to bike. And I don't know about you, but I've noticed more and more people are riding their bikes in the city. And I really want to thank Mr. Foxx and Nate and his team and all the people who worked on this effort. Because of that effort in One Less Car and really promoting this in the city. So on that note, I think I'm turning it over to Mr. Foxx. Mr. Foxx, you got it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, but I think we need to give our mayor another big round of applause because she's taken the leadership role in promoting bicycling. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today to speak about some of the great things that Baltimore City is doing to improve cycling around the city. For the past few years, citizens have been encouraged to use alternative modes of transportation, to include bicycles. Baltimore is aggressively implementing its bicycle master plan, which will connect the city through a network of trails and lanes to provide a safe and convenient transportation system for bicycles throughout the city. The Bike Master Plan is primarily to put into place to accommodate the future population growth within the city. This plan has guided Baltimore City in creating a lasting bicycle transportation program by mapping out the integrated on-street and off-street bikeway network, addressing bicycle parking and intermodal bike and transit integration, stressing safety education for motorists, cyclists, and youth, providing an action plan for encouragement and enforcement, recommending transportation and development policy and program changes, describing new bicycle facility design, and detailing new roadway and trail maintenance management practices. This, all in all, Baltimore is thinking forward and taking cycling to a new level. And it's imperative that we educate everyone about the benefits of cycling in a major city like Baltimore. And that is why I've pledged to support and provide resources for the cycling community so that Baltimore will continue to thrive in the 21st century. But most of all, I think the mayor's theme of a clean, green, safe, healthier Baltimore, all of this fits within in promoting that theme and providing, making Baltimore City a more livable city for its citizens. So with that, I thank you all for being here. It's going to be a great day. I understand it's going to be 90 degrees. So after we finish cycling, we have a lot of water for you so that you can stay hydrated. But thank you all for being here, and I'll turn it over to Nate.
Thank you, Mr. Foxx. Next, I'd like to introduce Andy Clark, who's the president of the League of American Bicyclists. And this organization just granted Baltimore an honorable mention earlier this year as far as being a bike-friendly community. So, Andy?
Well, thank you very much. It's a delight to be here. And Mayor, your leadership in this is extraordinary, and we would encourage you to maybe have a word with Mayor Fenty about going for a ride together, and I think you two would be a pretty fearsome couple on a tandem. And a pretty strong rider as well. So.
But I heard he broke something.
Baltimore is a great city. When I first moved here from the UK, I moved to Baltimore, and the League of American Bicyclists, or the League of American Wheelmen as it then was actually headquartered in Baltimore for many years. And to me, I will always think of Baltimore as a city of incredible neighborhoods, and I think it's in those neighborhoods that we can really see bicycling come to life. The Inner Harbor is obviously sort of a crown jewel, and there are some amazing parks, but really the city, to me, thrives on and is built around its neighborhoods. And it's those short trips, the trips to the store, to the supermarket, to visit friends and family, to get fit. Those are the reasons that I think we can really use to talk people into getting back on their bikes and riding, and into the bargain, just rediscover their city, just as the mayor has rediscovered cycling. I've seen countless times in cities across the country how community groups sort of reintroduce the population to their own community by getting them back on the saddle of a bike. Speaking of other cities, I think this is an opportune moment. You're seeing cities all across the country, some surprising ones like Louisville and Columbus, and some Midwestern cities, as well as places like Denver and Seattle and Portland, where you might expect this to be going on. They too are rediscovering cycling and realizing that to stay competitive, to stay healthy, to live in today's economy, to meet their sustainability goals, bicycling has to be at the core of how the city is built. And we're seeing other mayors step up and take leadership in this area. Mayor Daley is another huge cyclist in Chicago. His goal is to be able to ride a century in the city of Chicago and not have to go to Wisconsin or to leave the city limits in order to do it. So you are in very good company with other mayors and the leadership that they're showing. Mayor Menino of Boston, we're hoping at the Conference of Mayors meeting this summer, will kick off